Namaste, welcome, and aloha. Welcome to the verse titled Sūta Gosvāmī Hears and Responds The Power of Excellent Questions. We've explored the overview of Chapter 2, which defines the supreme occupation as unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service. Now we begin the chapter itself, verse by verse. This first verse describes the moment when Sūta Gosvāmī, perfectly pleased by the excellent questions of the sages, begins to speak. This verse teaches us something profound about how knowledge is transmitted through the power of excellent questions. Let us explore this teaching. First, the verse in its original Sanskrit, Vyasuvach, Iti samprashna sanhrishto vipranam ra maharshaniha pratipujavachastesha pravaktumupachakkrame. 1. These words describe the beginning of Sūta Gosvāmī's response. Let us understand what they reveal. Now let us go through the raw form of English translation of the verse. The translation. Vyasa said, Romaharshana Sūta Gosvāmī, being perfectly pleased by the excellent questions posed by the sages, honored their words and began to speak. This seems simple on the surface, but it contains a profound teaching about how knowledge is transmitted. Let us explore the deeper meaning. Now let us look at some core teaching of this verse. This verse establishes a fundamental principle about the transmission of sacred knowledge. The transmission of spiritual wisdom is fundamentally dependent upon the sincerity and quality of the receiver's enquiry. Notice what the verse says. Sūta Gosvāmī was perfectly pleased by the excellent questions of the sages. His willingness to speak arises not from a desire to preach, but from being pleased by the excellence of their questions. This indicates genuine spiritual thirst and intellectual preparedness on the part of the sages. The philosophical principle is this: spiritual truths are revealed through responsive dialogue. The depth of the revealed wisdom is directly proportional to the qualification and humility demonstrated by the student in their sincere asking. This is not arbitrary. This is how knowledge transmission works. A teacher cannot give what a student is not prepared to receive. The quality of the question determines the quality of the answer. Therefore, the seeker must first cultivate the capacity to ask profound questions before divine knowledge can be fully unlocked. This verse teaches, before you can receive deep knowledge, you must learn to ask excellent questions. Not casual questions, not lazy questions, but excellent questions, questions that demonstrate thought, sincerity, and genuine spiritual thirst. This is the foundation of the guru-disciple relationship. This is how sacred knowledge is transmitted. Now let us look at some modern scientific parallels. This ancient teaching about the power of excellent questions has fascinating parallels in modern science. First, consider successful pedagogical models and cognitive neuroscience. Research shows that learning is maximized through active inquiry rather than passive reception. This is called retrieval practice theory. The act of formulating precise questions stimulates the brain to prioritize relevant information, significantly enhancing memory consolidation. Asking questions is not just receiving information, it's actively constructing knowledge. Second, consider the field of artificial intelligence and a concept called active learning. In active learning, the algorithm intelligently selects the most ambiguous or high-value data points, the excellent questions to query the oracle. This maximizes learning efficiency and minimizes redundant processing compared to random sampling. The same principle applies here. Excellent questions maximize the efficiency of knowledge transmission. Third, consider the psychological dimension. Sūta Gosvāmī, being perfectly pleased, reflects intrinsic motivation, which psychological studies confirm is essential for effective knowledge transfer and deep communicative flow. When the teacher is genuinely pleased by the student's sincere inquiry, the conditions for deep learning are established. Let us now move on to some practical application as it relates to this verse. How do we apply this teaching in our daily lives? First, shift from passive listening to proactive, qualified inquiry in all learning environments. Don't just show up and wait to be taught. Come prepared with excellent questions. Second, before engaging in a learning session, meeting, or important conversation, dedicate 5 minutes to formulating three excellent questions. These should be questions that genuinely challenge your current understanding or seek practical implementation rather than surface level definitions. This practice ensures that you are prepared to receive knowledge efficiently. Third, recognize that asking excellent questions signals to the speaker, whether teacher, mentor, or colleague, that your attention is focused and worthy of their deepest insights. You're not wasting their time. You're honoring their knowledge by asking questions that demonstrate you've thought deeply. Fourth, understand that by asking questions that demonstrate prior thought and sincerity, you initiate the receptive dialogue necessary for unlocking comprehensive and meaningful responses. This is not manipulation. This is how knowledge transmission works. Fifth, cultivate the art of formulating excellent questions. This is a skill. It requires thought, preparation, and genuine curiosity. The quality of your questions determines the quality of the knowledge you receive. Now let us look at how this verse can help our young people. For young people, this verse offers crucial wisdom about learning. When seeking advice from a mentor or professor, do your homework first. Asking a specific, well researched question shows sincerity and respect for their time, ensuring you receive a focused, high quality answer rather than a generic response. Whether you're debugging code or planning a career path, this principle applies. Don't ask lazy questions that Google could answer. Ask questions that demonstrate you've thought deeply and need guidance on the next level. This ensures your learning exchange is productive and honors the teacher's expertise. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your education. Now let us look at how this verse can help our older generation folks. For those with more life experience, this verse speaks to your role as wisdom holders. Remember that the sincerity and effort behind a student's inquiry deserve a respectful and comprehensive reply. Honor their genuine curiosity just as Sūta Gosvāmī honored the sages. Recognize that true learning is reciprocal. When you fully engage with a thoughtful question, you not only transmit knowledge, but also reinforce and solidify your own accumulated perspective. Teaching is not just giving, teaching is also receiving. Receiving the gift of sincere inquiry. Be pleased, as Sūta Gosvāmī was pleased. When someone asks you an excellent question, it means they are ready to receive what you have to offer. In conclusion, we can say, this verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us about the power of excellent questions. Sūta Gosvāmī was perfectly pleased by the excellent questions of the sages, honored their words, and began to speak. This establishes a fundamental principle. The quality of the question determines the quality of the answer. Cultivate the art of asking excellent questions. Come prepared, show sincerity, demonstrate thought. This is how sacred knowledge is unlocked. This is how deep learning occurs. Thank you for exploring this verse with me. Thank you, namaste, and mahalo for joining me in this exploration of this verse. Sūta Gosvāmī hears and responds, the power of excellent questions. Now we will move on to next verse.